All right. Welcome to day 34, Sovereignty Transmission. This ride is getting very interesting, and it's interesting. I can see now how I am co-creating this together with the universe, because the things that happen in my life will or are triggering such incredible things, and I can completely see how I am being like, these ping pong tables. I feel like the ball, and there's someone who's actually knows what they're doing. Is like, when you can push light, you can push hard, you can even shake the table, and if you shake it too hard you get punished. So it's not being shaken too hard, it's that's not what it is. It's the perfect. It's someone who, when you watch some, I don't know if you did that growing up, but I spent time in the arcades when I was younger, and I was witnessing these often guys who were just so good at that, and they just knew. And then you played different. Okay, now I'm going into pinball. Okay, I'm gonna ground a little bit. So what I wanted to say with that is that things are getting so excited, so I can't really control myself. That's what's happening. I was like, why am I this excited? Yes, that's why I'm so excited. I feel like my heart is going to explode out of my chest, and I just feel like I accessed something inside of me that is just like fireworks. And it's interesting because now I remember a question of consistency, about consistency, that we want to be in a certain state all the time, which is not possible. So that's the first thing to realize, that it's impossible for women. We are not designed to be in one state all the time. That's just not part of our experience. That's just not the feminine experience. The feminine experience is to live through all the bigger waves we can handle. When you can control the water, when you can control the thunder, when you can, this type of energy is what I'm talking about. So consistency we cannot hold, because we cannot be that powerful all the time. So we go in and we go to the feminine, and then we go out to the, and it's not by domination or fear, it's by just absolute connection. So the consistency that you're looking for comes from connection. Because if you're unable to, so if you kind of go in the front to take the lead, you don't have the capacity to be in the front all the time, then you're going to retreat to the back. So it's about finding and going back. So that's how you work in a team. So you work in a team with yourself. But it's the connection, because whenever we override the body's true resources, and this is where the sovereignty comes in. So the sovereignty, I'm going to bring in my notes, because this day has been exciting, my friends. I'm so grateful for you guys. I have someone to share my findings, my insights. Okay. Oh my God, here we are. Because, so sovereignty, we're going to talk about 3 steps in the sovereignty. So I'm going to do a transmission today, because I don't have the capacity to bring us into a practice today. That's just not what's coming through. I just don't want to be calm and still, and I just don't want to be that today. Because I've been going so deep inside to really be able to access this feeling. So now when I have it, I'm not going to trade it away. So we're going to talk about 3 aspects inside the sovereignty. So the first one is trust. So when we really clear the root, when we access the root, when we activate the root, all of these things kind of unlocks. And that's what we're looking for. So the trust, the absolute trust. And this trust is the trust in, so this is where the paradox of God comes in. And we're going to be exploring that over the episodes. But the trust in that this is happening for me, that life is happening for me. I didn't come to earth to be punished for my existence, to do bad things, to be lured into bad things and then punished for them. That's even though people say like, yeah, you come to school and you need to learn and you need to be humble and all of these things. Yes, we need to be humble, but that's not the whole point is not that. The point is to trust in something greater and to trust that we are, when we live in this deep harmony with nature, I mean, the best hunters, the best survivors, they are deeply connected with nature, because this game of reality, I'm going to put down my pen because it didn't look aesthetically nice. This game of reality that we're living in, that is quite brutal, as we have decided. No, but we talked about it. And it is a little bit of the survival of the fittest, because we have to be skilled, because it's like, it's not all just fairy tales and bunnies. And of course, unfortunately, that's just not how it works here. But it's understanding that the skills that I'm building, the better I get at surviving in this world, so the better I will do better. It's like a game. But the setup of the game, we can either believe we're in a nightmare or we're in paradise. And then we choose the road between, like in between, and we trust that this is going to work out. I create my own reality, and this is going to work out. I'm trusting. So I'm putting my trust in the connection with my body. I put the trust in my connection with nature. I put the trust in my co-creation with the universe. I put my trust in love. I put my trust in truth. So this is the faith. And when things don't feel like they are going your way, is hanging on to that belief and not going into the despair and the collapse and the failure and the pity and the victim and or the villain or in control or whatever it is. To not go into the survival mode, no matter how challenged we are. That is the trust. And then we have the safety, and that is what we usually connect with the root, the safety discussion, or like the nervous system, that we have to feel safe in order to connect with the body. And that is true. That is absolute true, but it's not the only thing. So that's why I'm not calling it like the root chakra. I call it sovereignty, because that is the energy of the center. So the energy of the center is sovereignty, and the sovereignty includes the trust, the safety. And when we regulate the nervous system on such a deep level, and it's not only regulating, it's learning how it works, like learning your own nervous system. It's clearing out the old past. It's like you have software in the nervous system saying, be afraid of dogs, be afraid of cats, control by obsessively cleaning the bathroom every day. That's the software. So we have all these don't take criticism, good, break down and cry emotionally and become 5 years old. That's like the nervous system is programmed to these things, and there's nothing personal about it. It's not because you did anything wrong. It's just what happened to you, and it's how the human body works. Everyone around you, and this is when it becomes interesting, because at some point in this process, so I'm like sharing a secret here, you will realize that no one has it together. No one. Some are doing better than others, but the people that you're in conflict with, the people that you are afraid of, the people that you are whatever, name it, none of those. Otherwise, they wouldn't be involved with any of these activities. So when that opens up, life becomes very different, especially for people pleasers. It's like 11:11 on the timer when I said that. Woo! Okay, so we have to clean out the old software and install new ones. And the new ones, they are just programmed with, I have capacity, I can hold this, it's okay, and all of these things. But what the cool thing is that we learn to use the nervous system as a communication tool, not as a memory box to hell. No, not a gateway, not like a self-playing piano that is just, pulling you back to crazy town. No, it's we learn to listen, because the nervous system is like it's like a harp, and life is playing through that system to you. So when everything becomes still and quiet and peaceful, you learn to play, and you will listen, because God is playing on your strings, and then you start to listen, and the tune is just beautiful. And he or she, whatever you believe, God, the intelligence, it's like telling stories through the nervous system, and it's like tales. And you will notice, okay, now I gotta increase the speed, but I can only increase the speed if I have safety in my system, in a safe way, in a healthy way, because otherwise we are just creating more stress in the body. So it's being able to do the big waves with the nervous system, that when you are the conductor, it's not like it's not, otherwise you're just following along like a mitten. You're the conductor of it's like your Poseidon, your all these, your Zeus. That's the energy. But you can't do that with a nervous system that tells you to stay in your bathroom and clean, because that's the only way I feel like I have control of my life. And then the third is the inner authority. So the inner authority is the personal power. It's connected very deeply to the personal power. And so you will notice that the key center is the root. It's like holding the baseline, upgrading the baseline. So when you kind of open up or unlock these three things in the root, then the energy starts to open up, and we start to access the Kundalini, the life force, the sexual energy, all of this, because there's so much shame, guilt, and all of the different things that is blocked, and it's around the belly, the hips, the inner thighs, the genitals, It's the fascia, it's all of this area. And this is what we will be working on specifically in the sensational body course, because we will go straight for the key. That is the root. So the root is the key, and the to unlock, it's like you unlock one and then and it's not that you unlock this and this automatically opens. Unfortunately not. It's not that kind of warp, what do you call it in video games when you, anyway. But it's the, if you don't unlock it, you can't access them. So it's a must, and it becomes much easier, much more fun, and the energy start to really, you start to really play with the yin and the yang. So in the feminine, we are both, and everything in between. And then we have different natures. So I'm the nature that I'm like drawn to the bombastic and the power energy, but that's just because I need to build that type of energy right now. Don't know why, but that's just what I'm doing. I'm harnessing, I'm just, I feel like I'm in the horse in the racetrack. So in the sensational course, we're going to start to work with the principles and open up this physical area. So we have to open it physically, emotionally, energetically, all of it. So we do that by descending, and we activate the pleasure sensors. So we're touching upon, we're introducing that energy. So the sovereignty is the key. Now I need to drink something. So I was doing a alchemy session for myself today, because I woke up and I just had creative energy and started to create. So I didn't do any morning practice. I didn't do any exercise. And then that started to, my body was like feeling, I want to do something. I want to do something. So then I went to the rooftop gym in the middle of the day. So I pushed lunch forward. So I'm going to have lunch because we're picking up Simba today. So, just looking at the time. So I went to the rooftop and did a physical exercise during lunch when it's the hottest. Okay, it's a cool season, so it's not. But for me, I'm really digging into the heat. So I'm using that as a trigger point. So I'm doing this from a regulated state. I'm not doing this from a survival state. I know how to push my limits, and I know how to dig into my capacity. So I did this exactly same process that I showcased for you in the energy alchemy session. And I really dropped down into the root, into the root center. Don't remember why. But it felt like that was what I needed to do, because I felt like something's going to unlock for this session, and it did. So it was like, okay, I do that first and then I do the transmission. So I trusted, because then I got to eat lunch and then leave. So this is what I mean by the universe is co-creating this with me in a way where I'm kind of being used as a pinball game. Because this is... yeah, because time, I didn't have any other time. I have to do it this way. Otherwise, I'm going to, not do it or be late, and that's not an option. So I really dropped into the root, and then I got on the air bike again, and I really started to push and I kept the energy super low, and I just kept in that space, and I was increasing the energy. I was breathing and I was alchemizing, and I didn't override any signals in my body. I was working with my body and just moving that energy. And all of a sudden it was just pam, it said. And I had just a stream. Started to come through like, and I'm like, oh my Lord. And I'm just laughing because it was the same because I've been working through the pillars. And when I started to come to the expression, that's when I started to broadcast and put it into video. Because, and I wrote this down too. So this just came. I had to go off the bike and I just started writing, and there was something else just writing. So I'm gonna read to you what I wrote. I'm showcasing how I expand my own capacity by exposing myself to the very thing that will expand myself into the person that I know that I am becoming, which is the visibility, putting it into on camera. And I don't want that because of my hermit state. I don't want that. I don't want to be on camera. So I know that I need to overcome this, and that is the gateway. So the person that I know that I'm becoming. And I'm showing you in real time how I do it, and not only and I'm not overriding my nervous system and creating more stress and damage to my systems. I'm not doing that. I'm in complete connection and harmony and communication with my nervous system, with my body, and I'm guided. It's like I'm not just in connection, in harmony. I'm guided by my body. That is how connected, and the trust that I have, that I'm completely putting the trust in my body. And it's showing me my unique energetic setup as I'm doing it. So by committing to the body so deeply, I am entrusting it. So it's the sovereignty, it's the trust, it's the nervous system, and it's the inner authority. So I'm so deeply connected to the other pillars, the truth and the knowing and the expression. And so I'm fully connected to my personal power and my creation, so that I can pour in all my trust into what I'm doing and listen to the body and be guided by my body. And by doing that, I'm learning about my own setup, because the body will show me what I do and what I don't do, and where it works, and how it's like, no, I don't function in this. Da, 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 da. So by sharing my early stages of my own Phoenix process, I also give you access to my own struggles, to my vulnerability and my rawness. That is the beauty of this process. I'm going to say that again. By showing you my early stages and how I struggled and how I was putting myself out there to expand my own capacity, because I knew who I was becoming without doing any damage. So my body's guiding me to this space. And then I give you access to my struggles, to my vulnerability and my rawness, to showcase the beauty of the process, because we're so afraid of the process. We're so afraid of the negative emotions. We somewhere along the line, someone told us that that's ugly. I mean, we're not going to sit here and have a pity fest. And I mean, that's not what we're doing. And I'm not sitting here crying. I mean, I'm not in victim, but I'm showcasing the real imprints and the real oceans of the life, and how, what it can look like, because I normalize it. And when I do that, my system is automatically transmitting to your system that it's safe to do this. And you don't have to go on camera, but it's safe to be guided by my body. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you should be on camera or do whatever. You know where to go. And this is the point. I'm not never going to tell you where to go. You are your inner authority. I'm not your inner authority. I'm just showcasing how I unlocked my inner authority. And it's a free world. So, join, or say like Booty, come, no, come. I love that. She's Akka Hill tribe that we lived with for many years. And she grew up in the jungle. I mean, they are just such extraordinary people. She was carrying her 6-month sister when she was 5. They were walking from Burma to Thailand, living in the jungle. She never saw a motorbike until she was 18. She has a very different connection to life than most other people have. And when you say, okay, Booty, we might come for dinner tonight, she says, come, no, come. It's fine if you come. It's fine if you don't. Come, no, come. That's what I mean. Like, if people don't want to listen to this, there's a million other things on YouTube to watch. It's just, that's the freedom of it. And that's why I'm really accessing this freedom to give freely and to be freely and to be open. Okay, sorry, I lost. Too excited. So it's the beauty of the process. And the last thing I said, wow, I can't even see what I'm seeing, what I wrote. I can't see what I said. Great. So I'm usually very serious. I'm a very serious person, but I'm also a happy person. So just balancing this out. And after, just birthing all of this is just the becoming is, it's like I'm a Transformers in the air, but I feel all I feel it all. But once I'm learning to move with the system, then it's who I am. And that's when things start to become pretty awesome. Pretty awesome to have these experiences and have just how the universe co-created this with me today is just absolutely. And this is what I mean when I've been a skeptic, and there's just, I've just had too many of these experiences. It's just, you just get blown away of how life works and how it can be connected. And then we have these currents of energies that is going so there's winds of energy that comes through the universe. The spirit is like one of those winds. And within spirit, there's different currents. And the fire horse energy that we are moving into is one of these currents. So now we're going to go into a current that has the same energy as a fire horse. That's where the animals comes from. That's how they put the analogy together. And the universe works in metaphors. And that's the. Do you remember when I was looking for a word many days ago? Metaphor. That's what it speaks in metaphors. Oh, that felt good. So the energy of the fire horse is what's going to be most dominant for this year. And that is why if you're going to ride a fire horse, I mean, can you realize that you need to be very rooted, because it's going to be a upwardly experience. It's going to like this, and it's going to go fast. So up and forward. Then you want to be rooted, and you don't, I mean, you have two choices. Either you are rooted and you just hang on for the ride, or you learn to become the conductor of these big energies and expand and be your inner authority. It's like you're on that horse, just riding to your purpose, into the freedom of the future. And I mean, that's just an extraordinary energy. So that is why Phoenix Rising is launching right now, because this is how basically you're going to be rooted in the saddle, and it's the connection to the body and this the root energy, and then you can. So Phoenix Rising is for women who are actually attracted to that type of energy, but it doesn't have to be big. You can decide. I mean, it's your horse. You ride it however you want to. All I'm saying is, if you want to ride the energy horse of 2026, the body connection is the way. So now, body want to do this. Okay, 2:07. Lunch is served 2:15. So we're going to move into the sovereign practice at some point. But all of this work is what we're doing in sensational. So sensational is the sovereignty practice. This is where then I will introduce all the principles that I use, and we will introduce the connection. So I introduce all the practices that I do to open up this area and to clear the area, and we will alchemize together in the sensational course. So it's opening up, connecting to the stillness, and really, it's going to be a boom energy. To really meet what is there. So we're descending into that space, and we start to clear along the way. It's a clearing process. Clearing and connecting. As we connect deeper, we clear more. And we focus on opening up the spine in this area, because we want to activate the life force and the Kundalini energy. And to do that, we are introducing the connection with the pleasure senses, the receiving energy. It's the sexual energy, that they all come together. It's the creating energy. That's why it doesn't have the sexual aspect that, society is talking about. That has been unbelievably distorted. That is just not what we're doing. And that energy has a completely different trait to itself. And that's where also the connection to life force, to abundance, money, like all of these things are connected. They're all connected to that energy, because the key is to create. That is how you manage this life. You create, and you become a good creator. So the key is in the creation pillar, because that's where you come alive. But unless the safety and the trust and the inner authority from the root is there is nothing to fuel the whole thing out. So that's the work that I've been doing behind the scenes is to descend and unlock to a certain degree, and this is coming through me, and I thought that I would have like a pretty process and like this is how we're doing da, 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 da. But no, the point was to do it, to showcase me doing it as I came to a certain level or a certain degree. So that's why we are here. Well, you see, body is just, and all the pressure and the chaos that I've had inside of me is just starting to. So the energetic release has been. So I this is when I did part of my alchemy session, and then I came straight to you. So if this is helpful for you, please invite someone to join. Share this process with someone who needs it, or, not by any force. The source, the creator will show you, will tell you, oh, this is the one. Oh, no. Then that happens. And that's it. Now it's like, I feel like, it's like, it's so interesting. It's like, have you seen these movies when there's like it's like a robot like machine that just goes back to charging. Okay, we're shutting down now. Okay, so it's like it's like me going, okay, this is how it feels. And I'm very happy that my body wanted to showcase a happy state, because it's been very serious for a long time. But this is where we're going. It's the happiness, because nothing can touch you when you're in the happy zone. Okay, I am rambling. I am going to hang up now. I will be seeing you tomorrow, and I have to celebrate a little bit before we leave. I have 2 people joining my mastermind. How exciting is that? I just can't. I'm just beyond. Welcome. Both of you are watching this, so this is extraordinary. Being able to invite people into conversations where you have been through all of the things that we've been through. It's just so exciting for me. And it will be exciting for you too, because that's going to be, that is the container. That is the Phoenix Rising Mastermind is the container. That's going to be the home of this whole existence. And the value inside of that is just going to be extraordinary. And the fact that it's at this price point, just this cohort, that it's on this price point, it's just never going to be this way again. So I understand that you're grabbing the spots, because 2 per month for the mastermind is just amazing. And 2 for the sensational body. If you only want to join the sensational body, that's going to be such a core staple. That's not the price that it's going to go for in the shop once it's done. And the key, it's going to be, we're going to have a lot of fun. Okay. 14:14. I have to go for lunch. Love you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. New energy tomorrow. You see, we can be however we want. Okay. Bye. Ciao.